Hey there, Mama. Are you new to homeschooling and feeling a little bit overwhelmed? In this video, we're going to talk about 4 books that are great for beginner homeschool mamas to help you feel encouraged and know what to do. Let's go. If you are new to this channel, I am so glad you are here because I am here to support you during this homeschool journey. I am a mom of 3, about to be 4. Ta-da! And we have been homeschooling. This is our 3rd year. So I know I'm not like a veteran homeschooler. I've homeschooled just enough to get some experience and not so far off that I don't remember what it's like to get started. If you are needing that extra support, if you are needing that homeschool friend, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these videos. The first book I highly recommend is Home Learning Year by Year. Now, this is not something that you sit down and read through in one sitting. This isn't something you even read through in a year. This has all the information the author thinks you should be teaching your child per year. And so I have a 4th grader and a 6th grader, and I have all these like little little bookmarks in there because it is a reference book. It's not something you go through the whole time. So like, let's go through grade 4. You know, it'll have the language arts, what they should be doing for reading. It gives a list of books you recommend you read. Side note, do not feel bad if your child is not on this level. So for instance, writing right here, 4th grader should have mastered cursive handwriting. My 4th grader has not, but this just gives you a guideline on what you should be teaching. However, do not be afraid if you're not teaching at all because it can be overwhelming. She also lists a ton of really good resources. I've never used the resources in here just because I homeschool simply, and that isn't to say that my kids aren't getting a solid education. It just means I'm not going to buy every curriculum out there. So, you know, for math, it breaks math down to like probability and statistics, Roman numerals, fractions and decimals. It just breaks everything down that they should be learning that year. And it has every year from kindergarten up to senior in high school. So I definitely recommend this if that is something that you are like wondering about. What should I be teaching? Am I on the right track? Especially if you deviate from like a pre-made all set curriculum. This is a great book just to have on hand to feel confident with, but don't let it be discouraging if you guys haven't missed that because not every learner will learn on this pace. The second book I'm going to recommend is one that everybody recommends, so I hate to do that, but for real, this book is pretty solid. It's Teaching from Rest, A Homeschooler's Guide to Unshakable Peace by Sarah McKenzie. And it is Christian-based, but she just lays out how simple and how peaceful homeschooling can be for you. We try to think we have to do it all, we have to do all the things, and that in itself steals joy. That in itself steals peace. So how can we have peace every day, knowing that temper tantrums come, knowing all these things? Well, this is the book that helps you move through that. This is the book that helps you keep things simple so that you are not burning yourself out and being monster mom to your family. This 3rd book, I think a lot of people wouldn't recommend to beginner homeschoolers, but I honestly think they should because it's called Project-Based Homeschooling, Mentoring Self-Directed Learners. Now, I'm not trying to say that you should homeschool this way with project-based homeschooling, but by reading this book, it really opens up your eyes to what learning actually could be. There's this quote from Benjamin Franklin that says, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn." And so this project-based homeschooling just takes that quote on head on. It really just tells you how to help your children be self-facilitated learners, and it's through big projects, or like not even big projects, but simple projects that by doing they learn. By doing they learn. So even though you do not have to make your whole homeschool curriculum surrounded by project-based homeschooling, this will open your eyes to how valuable these hands-on projects that their creations really are to their learning. The 4th book that I would totally recommend for homeschoolers isn't even a homeschool book, but it has helped me so much. It's called 30 Days to Taming Your Tongue. What you say and don't say will improve your relationships. In homeschooling, relationships should always be greater than curriculum. You have the unique opportunity to stay home and educate your children, but it will not be successful if you guys do not build a strong relationship. And there are a lot of things that we pick up in our lives that are like snotty attitudes or belittling. So I wanted to just take a couple of examples of this book that have helped me so much in my homeschool. So let's go to the first one. Day 4. Oh, it's like 30 days to, well, obviously 30 days to taming your tongue. Day 4, the hasty tongue. Now this is Christian, so they do have Bible verses at the beginning of everything. Do you see a man hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Proverbs 29:20. And this really helped me in my homeschool by thinking I speak before I think very often, and that is something I don't want to teach my kids, but it's also something that I do, and it sometimes hurts my kids. I will say something too quickly or when I'm in anger, and it will hurt them. And another thing is the belittling tongue. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Ephesians 4:29. And this, I think everybody can understand, is so valuable. Your children will not learn at the pace that you expect them to. They're their own learners, they're their own things. And so sometimes it can be so frustrating when they don't get up to speed at the rate you want. If you guys are working through fractions and they're just not getting it, it can be so easy to belittle them. So this book helps so much be the best homeschool mom you can be, because there are just these underlying negative thinkings, underlying conversation patterns that we picked up that we have to break if we really want to be the best homeschool mom. So those are the 4 best homeschool books for moms I think you should definitely take a look into. Always keep reading. I have so many more books to recommend, so if this is helpful to you, go ahead and leave me a comment down below saying I want part 2, and I will definitely make part 2 for y'all, because there's a lot of ebooks that I've read that I think would help y'all too. But we got this. I look forward to seeing y'all again next week, where we will talk about what to do if your first day of homeschool goes bad. I'll see you then. Bye.